All right, Fresh. Let's go to the Big 12 title game and preview them. The Oklahoma State Cowboys are going to be facing the Texas Longhorns. Right now, at time of record, Texas is a 14.5 point favorite in this game. This spread opened up at 11.5 and is already up to 14.5. Over under is set at 55.5. You know, we talked a lot about this. If Texas can shut down Ollie Gordon, it's good night, Irene. Put the kids to bed. It's ball game, folks. If Ollie Gordon can keep rolling with what he's done, kid's got 20 touchdowns on the year. It's a heck of a running back. Texas is going to have their hands full. Oklahoma State does have a half-decent offensive line, so be careful on that. But I think Texas is really, they can see what's in front of them, that they have the opportunity to make a statement win. Fresh, I asked you, what you got for Oklahoma State, Texas?
Well, I mean, we already started off. It's Ollie Gordon, left, right, around, catching the ball if he can, whatever. He has to be obviously heavily involved. But outside of that, Bowman, the quarterback, has got to find some sort of passing game, be more consistent. He needs the running game to make sure that offense stays under the right trajectory, right down the distance. And if there's no running game, I don't trust him to throw them back into the ball game. I think that's what Coach Gundy and them are worried about. They've got to stay within themselves. They've got to stay on their pace. And when they are successful against a very good defense, it's going to be a struggle. Yeah, they were able to come back versus BYU. They've been able to come back against other teams because their defenses weren't as good. This Texas defense is elite. You cannot fall behind by double digits and expect to come back with as much ease as they have been lately, especially with the ground game, the heavily focused as Oklahoma State is right now. You've got to be able to play ahead and play in your terms. Very similar, I'm not going to compare Oklahoma State and Michigan, but their philosophies of the team are very the same. You run the ball first, run the ball second, 2 tight ends if you have to, very physical at the line of scrimmage. You throw when you want to, not when the defense forces you to throw the football. That's how the Oklahoma State and Michigan are actually very, from the philosophy standpoint, are very same. They run the ball in their terms. They're very physical at the line of scrimmage, and they throw when they want to, not because they have to. And that's where if you want to beat Oklahoma State, you got to get them down early and then make sure your defense is good enough to hold on and lock them down. If you're giving them any hope, they can scratch and claw, get back in the ball game, but they are built to lead and play from ahead in a physical football game and then wear you out and make you quit in the second half. Texas defense in the trenches, this is your game to show up and lock it down. If you can own the line of scrimmage and be tough and play physical football, you will take down Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, if you can run the football, but then maybe add some wrinkles. You have nothing to lose. Nobody's giving you a chance in the football game. Maybe you play a little more loose. Maybe add a little more play action wrinkles, or more quarterback keeps on the boot. Add something else. Use what you already know. We all know Ollie Gordon's my opinion, the best running back in the country. How can you build off of that? Create some opportunities on film. Get creative with the offense. Go out there, maybe a little more play action early on. Force that secondary, force those linebackers to take an extra step and play an extra yard off. Give them something to think about every time you come under center or out of the shotgun, and they're not just looking at the running back. Because then eventually, if you get the passing game going here and there and splatters, it opens up holes in the running game. Maybe change the offense a little bit, be a little more open and free. And remember, last time you guys played in this stadium, you were a half yard short from beating Baylor and potentially going to the playoff 2 years ago. You were a half yard away from winning a Big 12 title, and that kind of slipped away. How many guys in this team right now were on that squad 2 years ago? Where's the extra pain, that drive, that desire that you had? You were so close and you couldn't get it done. I'd be showing that game film and that final play every single day right now in the locker room as motivation of, we were this close to a Big 12 title 2 years ago. I don't care who we're playing. We've already beaten Oklahoma. Let's go out there and just let it all hang loose. Can we do what we did to Oklahoma to Texas? Can we say, you know what? You're on the way out. Goodbye. We're gonna make sure you don't get a trophy. Whatever you can. We already know the Big 12 commissioner tried to throw shade during the summer and try to talk up Texas Tech. And really, I think Texas is kind of angry. I think that's the deep down motivation. But if you want to, throw it out there and right now and send them out the wrong way, this is your opportunity. Play loose. You have nothing to lose, but be creative offensively. Don't just be the same over and over, run the ball. You have to be a little creative because this defense is too fast and too physical, and they will shut you down immediately. You've got to be dual opportunities. You've got to have a passing game a little bit. You've got to be able to attack them when they're vulnerable early and often and play on your terms. Because if Texas gets going with that offense, it could be, like you said, good night Irene, and that defense will just continue to tee off and tee off. And then you're throwing the ball when you don't want to, or you're throwing out of desperation. And that's where sacks come, that's where picks come. And it just becomes an avalanche of Longhorns coming at you all afternoon in Arlington, Texas, which nobody ever wants to see. You've got to go out there, play on your terms, just like we mentioned previous before. As the underdog, throw in some wrinkles, but play on your terms and take it to the Longhorns. Texas, maybe you're a little pissed off that you didn't get to play Oklahoma in this ball game. You kind of want to have a chance to redeem yourself, but isn't it kind of a little, vindication, a little justification that they didn't even make the title game and you're here? You have everything in front of you right now. If you win, you're probably going to need some help. You're obviously going to be big Alabama fans and big Louisville fans. If you win big to get you in potentially in that playoff, but you have to take care of business first. Don't overlook Oklahoma State. Go in there and take care of business. Run the ball, throw the ball, do what you have to do. Play your elite defense. Impress the committee all you can. In the past, we've always been waiting for that one shoe to fall for Texas. In all the previous years, they had that one game they stumble over. I've had faith in you guys all year. You've kind of continued to carry through. You've gone to Tuscaloosa and you've gotten a win there against a very good Alabama football team. Don't let Oklahoma State be that one stump. Don't overlook them. Don't think that you're a shoe-in for a playoff and you're going to overlook Mike Gundy and his, Oklahoma State Cowboys. Because if you do, it's going to be a real sad day in Arlington, Texas, and you might not even get a sniff to playoff because you'll have overlooked them and you're tripped up. Focus on what you have to do. Go one play at a time. Take care of business. Quinn Ewers, make the right decision. You've played better all year long. His receivers, the talent is there. Now it's time to put it all together and get yourself a trophy on your way out of the Big 12 and potentially get in a playoff bid. Be focused, one play at a time. Don't let the moment become too big because honestly, if you get here, the games get bigger. The playoff, if you get in, is a lot bigger than what this game is going to be. And this game right here is obviously bigger than going to Tuscaloosa in September because this is for a trophy. Focus in on one play at a time, take care of business, run the ball, throw the ball, be physical, own the line of scrimmage, and you'll have a day. If Ollie Gordon gets loose and he's still relevant in the fourth quarter, you'll be sweating bullets and you may not survive. Take care of business early. Do not let the running game in Oklahoma State hang around the second half because you might be sorry. In the end, I think Texas wins big. This is actually my lead pipe lock of the week. I think they are so focused right now and so driven. They are going to own this football game. It's over at halftime.
Lead pipe lock of the week. Where the heck did that come from, Fresh?
Just locking it down. It's in stone.
Yeah, but why a lead pipe? Is it something
I just like the phrase.
Something we get break your kneecaps with if you're wrong with this one?
Hey, I like Clue. Clue's a good game.
There you go.
Pipe in there. It all works.
Right. Fresh, you really didn't say anything different than what I got here come forward. I think, again, I messed up last week talking about the run game for Texas. Jaden Blue had a game for him against Texas Tech. He needs another big one for this one to, kind of put it between him and Ollie Gordon. But you know what? I'm more impressed with Xavier Worthy. He's Pro Bowl week last week, wound up playing through an injury as well, playing hurt. Kid probably is really wishing like he, get some time off. And this is a big opportunity. You could leave the Big 12. Brett Yormark has made some very outlandish statements towards the Texas Longhorns, probably because he's a little butthurt that they're leaving. Yeah, I get it. You can be a little butthurt for if you're leaving. And he does not want to see them peace out with the Big 12 title in this game. He really doesn't. Ollie Gordon, you got to have a day. And even then, I don't know if that's going to be enough for them. Texas is in the same position for me as Ohio State was in 2014. Ohio State was just outside the top four of the playoff. What did they do? They went into the Big Ten title game and absolutely destroyed a really good Wisconsin team. I mean, absolutely put the boots to them. This is a lasting impression type of game. You're going to have one of the two teams get knocked off between this, and then all of a sudden it's going to come down to, the winner of Oregon versus Washington is going to wind up in the playoff. You think Michigan's going to handle business versus Iowa. The winner between Georgia and Alabama is going to be in the playoff. And so then it really goes into that conversation. You're rooting for Louisville. And then even if some chaos starts to happen, Texas wants to make sure the committee has the lasting impression of them. I'm going to tell you this. I think the committee wants Texas in. I think they want Texas in just for the eyeballs that's going to generate. They're the most lucrative college football program in all of America. Quinn Ewers definitely been playing out of his mind this year. He's closing in on that 70% completion mark on the year. I think that if he goes into this game and you take a look at, what he did last time against Texas Tech, he had a really, really good game going in there. Again, I like Ewers. He made the right throws. He leaned on his running game when he needed to. If he can go in and just have that type of game, don't make any big mistakes. Don't make where you wind up with a 3 interception game. I know it's not a common thing for Ewers if it's ever happened. But what I'm saying is you don't force yourself too much. This is one of the type of games where it's okay to be a game manager. Like everyone's like, oh, that's a bad phrase. No, it's not. Tom Brady was a great game manager. He was one of the best at that. He managed the football game. He let the football game be dictated on his pace. That's what Ewers has got to do in this football game. He's got to dictate the pace in it. Is this going to be the opportunity when it comes down to a 3rd and 6 and you're at midfield? Are you able to pick up that first down? If you're able to do that, not only are you going to wind up being Big 12 champions, you're going to wind up having an opportunity to make some noise. This is a really good Texas team, and I think we've kind of forgotten how good they are because of that one, very, very late loss in the Red River rivalry. And I'm telling you, Fresh, this Texas team, you could really make some noise in the playoff. I think if they get in, watch out for them. They scare me if they get in. So I got Texas winning.
They were in my if you look at my Twitter, I've had them, Michigan, Ohio State, and Georgia as my 4 playoff teams, even going into the preseason. So I've had high thoughts on them. They continue to get better at the line of scrimmage, focused and driven. Sark is actually kind of coaching like an adult. He's had some ups and downs, some moments. I think last year's kind of irrational all over the place, but this year the team is playing much more focused across the board. Ewers has even grown up, and they look the part. But you have to, like you said about the Ohio State in the first year of the playoff, go out there and just lay the lumber to them because you are the first game on Saturday. If you put up a number, people are going to look up at the scoreboard the rest of the day and afternoon, especially if it's, in seeding comes into play. They're going to see,
Right.
Man, Texas put up 62 on them. Dang.
Right.
We got to score points, and the pressure's on us to really impress the rest of the day. And that actually might get people to freeze up because they're trying too hard. So you go out there and post a number early. It's like qualifying for a Formula One race. You put a number on the board early, you're set.
Right.